Having got off to a shaky start in the last episode of our National League expedition with a loss and a win, albeit just by the odd goal, have we improved, and can we improve today? Let's go and find out. Hello, and it's a very warm welcome to episode 26 of From the Bottom to the Top, as we try and take a National League South side, in this case Weymouth, from the bottom all the way to the top, and this is our journey. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you two games in the Vanarama National League, match days 5 and 6 against Boreham Wood at home, and then we go away up north to Fylde, the Fylde coast, and see if we can get a win up there. Don't forget, if you enjoyed today's episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. It keeps you up to date with all that's happening here on the channel. And of course, the other thing to do is to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter as well. And you can also leave me a comment down below if you let me know how you think the series is going and what you'd like to see me do in future series. Right, a quick update of what's been going on since you were last with us. Just one other thing to mention is while we were about to record this, the data update has come down for Football Manager, and whether that messes with anything, we will find out in due course. Last time out, 2-0 loss to Hartlepool, opening day of the season. Joe Knight, a scorer, Woking, a 1-0 win. Joe Knight, the scorer again. He has kept up his good form, or reasonable form, at the start of the season. Oldham Athletic were next up. We beat them 6-2. I said no cricket scores in this league, but maybe, just maybe. But it was a little bit worrying to start off with. We started the game and Oldham Athletic got a lead after just 5 minutes through George Morgan. Throw in from Couto, who was a real big problem to us with the long throw. Curtis crossing it in and Morgan just standing by the back post and taps it away. 1-0. That lead lasted for 6 minutes. Alfie Prescott, who provider of many, many goals last season, got onto the score sheet after 11, making it 1-1. Peters crosses this deep. Prescott has a header that the goalkeeper saves, parries it, but Prescott quick on the follow-up and puts it away. So we're back level after 11 minutes, and then we haven't seen much of him in the first two games, but he's certainly made his impact on this game. 27 minutes in, and Mika Peters gets our second. Linton with a throw-in on that left side. Peters plays it back. Knight. Peters creates the space for himself and rifles it into the back of the net. And 2-1 it was at this point. And then another debutant, Dan Casey, getting his first goal for us after 40 minutes. Prescott looks like he's the provider again. Crosses it in. Knight pulls it back, and Casey just pops it away. 3-1 at half-time, and it was Oldham Athletic who made it 3-2 after 78 minutes. Couto, I said he was terrible with those long throws. It was headed on and fell nicely for Allen to volley it in the back of the net. 3-2 then, on 78 minutes, and we were a bit worried that they were going to make a comeback, but we needn't have worried. 3 minutes later, Joe Knight adding to his tally for the season. Davis on that right side, cross it in, doing Prescott type things. Knight, and it was lovely put away. The goalkeeper just got fingertips to it, but couldn't keep it out. So 4-2 at this point in time, and then Mika Peters gets his second of the game on 85. Couto with a long throw. It's headed on, but Bolton is there, pulls it down. Casey. Peters turned lovely. Plenty of space, pops it away. It's now 5-2, and Peters wasn't finished. A bang on 90 minutes. He rounded off his and our day with a hat-trick. Petit on that right-hand side. Davis cuts inside, pulls it in. Peters again creates the space for himself, and he's beginning to show how good a player he is and what a bargain he was when we brought him in. So 6-2 against Oldham Athletic, and they were a mere shadow. But we need to keep one eye on Benny Couto. He was a bit of a thorn in our side. In fact, we'll add him to the shortlist because if he actually ever comes up, he may be a useful player to have in our midst, especially with that throw. Very, very dangerous. Right, so 6-2 it was, and then we went on to Bromley for the next game. Cam Cooper getting us underway in this one. Prescott throws it in tonight. Bolton through to Cam Cooper. Cam Cooper in off the post, and he gets his first of the season and puts us 1-0 up after 27. And then just 4 minutes later, Amika Peters, who likes scoring now, scored his second, his first of the day, but our second of the day from the penalty spot. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. 2-0. 2-0 half time then. But Spencer Spurway was to make it 3-0 after 54 minutes. Vincent with the cross, swung in. Spurway doing what Spurway does, popping it away, and question whether it was him or Blythe that put it away, but it was Spurway who got the goal. Then a minute later, Connor Wickham, from Cardiff days, I seem to think, we'll check in a moment, scoring from the penalty spot to get a consolation goal for Bromley. Sent Armstrong the wrong way. And 3-1 it was to finish. Connor Wickham, let's just check. Is he the man that used to be at Cardiff? Yeah, he was at Cardiff for a short while. Been all sorts of places. Ipswich, Crystal Palace, Forest Green, now at Bromley, of course. 32 years of age. Useful player, though. Very useful player. Right, which brings us to today's games, Boreham Wood and Fylde. Before that, let's have a quick look at the table. The Vanarama National League table, 4 games played. Chesterfield have won all 4 of their games, the only team to have done so. Aldershot are in second, equal points to Hartlepool and Bradford City, all on 10 points, all having won 3, drawn 1. 1-3, drawn 1, and we have won 3 and lost 1. That opening game of the season. We are in 5th place on 9 points. Then come Barnet, Gateshead and Solihull Moors, all on 7 points in the relegation zone at the moment. Dawkins, Scunthorpe, our second opponents today, Fylde and Kings Lynn Town, who've lost all 4 of their games so far this season. They'll lose everything until they meet us and then beat us probably, or something stupid like that. Right, that's brought you bang up to date then, and high time that we got on with today's game. No issues with team news for either team today. Bob Lucas Stadium is Boreham Wood. We've never played Boreham Wood before. They, for historical reasons, they have been in whatever league it is. They finished the Vanarama National League last season in 19th place. Got promoted from the National League South back in 2014, 2015 when they finished second. They've been in the Vanarama National League since then. So there you go. That's their history. Let's go and see if we can get a result against Boreham Wood then in the first game of the episode. And here we are for Vanarama National League match day 5 against Boreham Wood. Armstrong is in goal. It's Linton, Blythe, Spurway and Prescott across the back line. Bolton, Solanke and Knight in midfield. Casey sits behind Peters and Cooper up front. It's Slade, Davis, Petit, Weiss and George on the bench. And here we are, Weymouth at Bob Lucas Stadium. Boreham Wood have won just one of their last 4 matches, lost 2, drawn 1. And we're 5th on 9 points. Boreham Wood 15th on 4 points. Peters with a free kick. It's swung in. It's headed clear. And Tammy Abraham wins the ball. 3 minutes, nearly 4 minutes on the clock. Prescott through to Knight. Knight creates some space. And Knight keeps his scoring form up. His 4th goal of the season. And inside 4 minutes, I think it might be either 4 or 5 minutes, we take the lead. I think it's more likely to be 5 minutes, actually. Yeah, it's 5 minutes. Prescott through to Knight. Knight, lovely first part. Just steadies himself, puts it past Gregory. Linton, short corner to Casey. Peters is brought down. Abraham tripped him. And on 6 minutes, or it'll be 7 minutes now that the clock has ticked on, Peters from the penalty spot puts it away. Goalkeeper going the right way, but he's put it past him. And his 5th goal of the season, and he's on his way. Lovely put away. We tucked it far away. Well hit. And with just 24 minutes on the clock, bad news. Ben Blythe has taken a knock. He's got a groin injury, but more of a worry. Potential thigh injury to Dan Casey. That isn't good news. And we're going to have to do a early change, which we didn't want to have to do. Mitchell Weiss is on the bench today. He will come on. His best role is as advanced playmaker. That's what he will do. Sat behind Peters and Cooper. Let's see what he can do. No more highlights in that first half. 2-0 at 7 minutes. Rocked them to start off with, and we've not done a lot since then, albeit we have held possession. 5 shots, 3 on target, 1.33 on the XG, 64% of the possession against their 6 shots, 1 on target, 0.53, and 36% of the possession. Just need to make sure that we don't capitulate in the second half. So with 61 minutes on the clock, making our second change, Ben Blythe doesn't seem to be able to shake off that injury that he picked up in the first half. Harvey Slade comes on to replace him. Linton with a corner, swung in, it's headed in. Spurway gets his 2nd of the season and our 3rd of the day, and on 80 minutes that surely finishes it off. And they've been playing a lot better this second half, held us soft really, but a set piece again does the damage. And on 80 minutes we're making our final change. We have taken off Elliot Bolton, who's tiring, has a good game, and he's replaced by Casey Petit. Prescott's coming forward. Can we get a 4th? Cross deep, looking for Knight, didn't find him, but Linton is there. Linton into the area. Linton has a go, and the goalkeeper pushes it over the top for a corner. Into the 4th minute of added time. Weiss with the corner, swung deep, and it's headed away, and it's all over. It's a clean sheet, a 3-0 win. Joe Knight after 5, Peters from the penalty spot after 7, and Spencer Spurway rounding it off after 80 minutes. A comprehensive 3-0 win. And so here we are looking at the games having been played, and a good 3-0 win against Boreham Wood there. And it pushes us up into 2nd place behind Chesterfield. 5 games played. Nobody got 100% record now. Chesterfield having drawn a match. Where are we? Chesterfield. I'm looking for drew 2-2 to Solihull Moors. So that's how it stands. 5 games in. Chesterfield top on 13 points. We are 2nd on 12 points. Then come Bradford City, the pre-season favourites, on 11 points. Aldershot Town have a game in hand, I've just realised, over everybody else. So they are clearly still to play. They play on Sunday against Barnet. Barnet, who are 11th at the moment. So they could leapfrog us, push us down a little bit into 3rd place. But the worst we can be is 3rd in the table. And then Scunthorpe, Woking, Fylde, who we play in the 2nd game of the episode, and Kings Lynn Town all in that drop zone at the moment, all with 3 points. Fylde picking up 3 points literally by drawing 3 of their games, losing the other 2. Other big statements in that match, of course, in this thing, of course, Bradford City, as we said, they drew 0-0 with Oldham Athletic, who we beat. So it's open for anything to happen, I suppose, is what we should be looking at. Right, well, with that, we got 7 days down to the next game. We will progress through that. If there's any news, we'll come back and tell you. Just before we have a look at the game against Fylde. And I forgot to cover this bit off, didn't I? The big news going on is hamstring strain to Dan Casey. He's going to be out for 6 to 7 weeks. He's going to miss a couple of months at least, and joins Ben Blythe on the treatment table. But that's a big blow. Dan Casey, he's going to be out for a little while. Just out of curiosity, is he accident prone? Currently out with an injury. Doesn't say so. There's no indication that he's injury prone, so hopefully this is a bit of a one-off. And you come back to just before the game against Fylde, and we have brought in 2 players. Bryn Morris has come in on a free transfer. This all happened very, very quickly. We were getting nowhere with a defensive midfielder and Harry Ransom. But the first thing that came up was Harry Ransom, who previously had wanted silly money to join us. And obviously in central defence, he can play as defensive midfielder as well. But primarily we'll use him as a central defender, 6 foot tall. He's tackling of 12. His technique's not fantastic, but his heading and jumping reach are good. He has reasonable pace and stamina, and he's got a weak left foot but a good right foot, so playing on the right hand side potentially. And he is slightly better than Spencer Spurway, so he's there. He's been around. He's hopefully will do the business for us in defence. So it's Harry Ransom has come in. Previously started out at Eastbourne Borough, had a little bit of time at Millwall, and then been playing the lower leagues. But basically Crawley Town League 2 was where he was last. So we'll see how he progresses. But we eventually brought him in for free and on a reasonable wage as well. I think he's on, doesn't tell me on that screen, 650 a week, so that's not too bad. This man cost us a little bit more though. Bryn Morris, he has he's lots of clubs, came through the Middlesbrough Academy, recently played Hartlepool, Grimsby Town in League 2, Newport County in League 2, so he should be fairly good at this level. I would have thought. He's played in the Championship as well for Middlesbrough. So Bryn Morris, he's come in. He is a defensive midfielder, is primarily we will play him as the ball-winning midfielder probably in that midfield. So it ups the ante as far as that is concerned, and gives us a bit of depth in the squad, which is what we wanted. And I think we've pretty much now covered off all the spots that we want. We will possibly look out for a couple of loanees maybe, but at the moment I think I'm reasonably happy with the squad that we've got in, which means that brings us round to the game against Fylde. Fylde, we've not played them before in this series. The only team news really is Angelo Capello is away on international duty with Belize. We have Melvin Lambert out also on international duty. Dan Casey is out with that 7 weeks on the hamstring strain. But beside that, we have a reasonably full selection. The question is, will the 2 new players get a chance to play? Well, here is the team that faces Fylde in this Vanarama National League match day 6. And there's a couple of things I need to just sort of say at this point. First of all, the only having to play Saturday and Saturday and Saturday, which gives us a week in between, is excellent so far. That's one thing. The second thing is it does allow us to stick with a fairly settled side with just the odd changes. Obviously today we've made a couple of changes. One of them is enforced, of course, because of the injury to Dan. I can't even find him now. Where has he gone? Dan Casey, of course, playing in that role there. He's out because of that injury. So that's one thing, and it does mean that we can play a fairly settled side, which hopefully bodes well, because it means they can gel a little bit better, as keeps chopping and changing them as we did last season. Not that we did badly, but that's another bonus. The other thing just to mention is that Aldershot Town did draw 1-1 with Barnet, which means we do remain in second going into this game today. Right, so the team that faces Fylde looks like this. Armstrong continues in goal. Vincent comes in on the left for I've forgotten who it is now. That is it. Josiah Linton. Yeah, it's only because he's new and I've not got used to him yet. Blythe and Spurway continue in central defence. I see they're building up quite a partnership. This yellow one shows that they're starting to build up. Prescott starts again on the right hand side. We have Bolton, Solanke and Knight in midfield. Evans then comes in to replace Casey behind Peters and Cooper up front. Ransom, Davis, Morris, Vice and George are on the bench. Ransom, of course, our new man, and also Morris, our new man, coming onto the bench. Vice and George also on there as well, as I said. That's the team that faces Fylde. And here we are at Fylde. Shane Ferguson, their manager, playing a 4-4-2 today. Lost 2, drawn 3 of their last 5 matches. The only game we've lost is that first game of the season. Playing our usual formation. Very compact stadium here. We're second with 12 points. Fylde are 23rd with just 3 points. And we have our first highlight. 46 minutes and it's Evans just firing over the top. A very cagey affair first half, and just that one highlight, and you can see the frustration creeping in, starting to pick up some yellow cards, which is unusual for us. We do pick the odd one up, but not loads, and that is just showing a little bit of annoyance there. 61% of the possession against their 39. We've had 4 shots, just 2 on target, 0.25. They've had 4 shots, 1 on target, 0.41. They have somewhat frustrated us in that first half, and slightly better on the XG, 0.41 against 0.25. Need to be better in the second half. 55 minutes on the clock. It's Fylde coming forward. And again, it's been a cagey start to the second half. And we've let Brooking run down that wing. He's going to cross this in. He's played it back. It's all happening, and a penalty. Prescott giving away the penalty on 56 minutes. And can Armstrong do heroics here? He can. And it's gone out for a corner. That corner, it's going to be an outswinger. Goff with the outswinger, swung out. It's played back. Oh, it's come back off the woodwork. And we've managed to survive somehow or other. But it's still alive. They cross this in. There was a free kick given on that far side, Spurway. And we've given the ball away. We're really not on fettle. We might need to make some changes soon. Davis crosses this in. Can the new boys get us going? Evans, shot from distance just over the top. And with nearly 60 minutes on the clock, Elliot Bolton has come off. We've given a debut to Bryn Morris. He's on, and we've also taken off Kieran Evans and brought on Mitchell Weiss. who did us so well last season. What's his best position? His best position is poacher if he's up front. Advanced playmaker he will do. So they're the two changes for now. Let's see if we can go and get a goal. And the two players that have come off walking down the side of the pitch here. Our two players are on, and throw in about to be taken by Fylde. Deep in their half. We've won the ball back. Morris, his first touch. Vice. Oh, just wide from Vice. Goal kick by Lewis for Fylde. Solanke's underneath it. It's out to Peters, who's tracked all the way back to Armstrong. And we build from the back once again. Vincent out on this left side. There's Blythe behind him. Blythe to Morris. Morris completely overrun that. And a shot and a goal. And, well, that all came with Morris overrunning that ball. And we go a goal behind after 68 minutes. Morris just left that. I'm not sure what he was doing. And it took a deflection, didn't it? Oh, dear. And with nearly 75 minutes on the clock, we're making our third and final change. A debut for Harry Ransom. He's come in as the ball-winning midfielder. Solanke moving out to his right. That's our final change then as we go. We're looking for a winning goal. Now we're going trying to get the equaliser. Oh, dear. And we just weren't at the races today, were we? Very poor by our standards. And, 1-0 loss. It was a bit of a sort of lucky goal in a way, but even so, they scored it. And, they had 10 shots, 4 on target, 1.62, 39% of the possession. We had 11 shots, 5 on target, 1.06, 61% of the possession. A classic example of top playing bottom, even though it's early in the season, and coming unstuck. And with a full round of matches played in the Vanarama National League, this is how it has all panned out. Interestingly, Yeovil Town losing 3-0. Bradford City, the pre-season favourites, they have drawn 0-0 with Bromley. It's a whole concoction, isn't it, of scores in this league, as we are beginning to see Scunthorpe beating Aldershot Town by 3-0. So these are the key results then. Hartlepool must have won. They beat Woking by 1-0, and Chesterfield, who are top of the table, they drew 1-1 with Southend, the other team that, of course, come up from the Vanarama National League South. The table looks like this then, going into 6 games played. Chesterfield are top on 14 points, yet to lose a game this season, as are Bradford City, to be fair. Hartlepool are second on 13 points. We're in third on 12, just ahead of Bradford City on goal difference. And York City also on goal difference. They're all on 12 points. Aldershot and Halifax on 11 points, just inside the playoff places. Gateshead are 8th, and obviously this early in the season, winning or losing can move you up and down this table very, very quickly, to say the least. In the drop zone at the moment, Boreham Wood, Altrincham, Woking and Kings Lynn Town, Fylde pulling themselves out of that drop zone by virtue of the win over us today, their first win of the season. Not the best, but there you go. That's how it is. Obviously, as the season progresses, that'll become a little bit more stable as we get there. Right, we're going to play 2 matches offline. We're going to play Aldershot Town, currently 6th, a home game at the Belucas Stadium. Then we travel along the coast to Eastleigh, to the Silver Lake Stadium for a match against Eastleigh 11th at the moment. And then we're going to welcome Yeovil Town 15th to the Bob Lucas in the next episode, and also to Chesterfield at the moment, leaders in this competition, top of the table. Will they be there at the start of the next episode? We will have to wait and see. I think we've probably missed Dan Casey in this episode, but hopefully he'll be back in the not too distant future. Next episode then, Yeovil Town and Chesterfield, as we look to consolidate our reasonable start to the season, having lost our second game, but obviously free scoring up until then just seemed to have hit a little bit of a sort of funny spot, really. Let's hope it doesn't continue. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Bottom to the Top, and our other series, of course, Irons in the Fire, featuring West Ham, as they are released. New episodes of Bottom to the Top released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. And the best way of keeping up to date with all that's happening on this channel is to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at JustOffsideFM. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 27, and it will be out on Friday. Until then, I wish you a good week. Bye-bye.